Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a GameStar presentation. We are here with Game 1 between these two powerhouse female teams. It is the FemaleDota 2 Southeast Asian League. It is the Season 2, and we are well into Round 6, I believe. My name is Coldblood, and joining me for this cast, it is Hawksbuck. How are you, boss?
Yeah, pretty good, man. How's yourself?
Great. I just got done with a couple of League of Legends games. Now I'm jumping into the other MOBA, which I'm not quite as good at, but good enough to cover the teams.
As long as you don't call them minions,
As long as it's
that's
not
cool,
minions and champs. Yeah, fair enough. Okay, so apparently they're called Disney, even though they are actually MIDFI. We have MintAU as our Radiant side. As Australians ourselves, we'll try and avoid our bias there. Well, of course, Mint means Mum, I need Tangoes, which is the only spelling of Mum. There's no O's here, Hawksbuck. And our Philippines team, MIDFI, up the top, who apparently are big fans of Disney. And already we're seeing Amber Spirit and Invoker liken, so similar bands to last night's game.
yeah, fairly standard bands there.
Yeah, we'll have to see if the AA's taken out of the pool was completely ignored in our broadcasts from last night. We'll have to see what the girls value here. Shadow Shaman was first picked in both of those games, so we'll have to see if these girls value him the same. We've got some stats for the teams here. MintAU are third on the ladder with 9 wins, 2 draws and 1 loss, so they are doing fantastically. They're actually tied for second with the Chinese NXA, oh no, not Chinese, I don't know what they are, I think Taiwanese NXA ladies, and then MIDFI are 7th on the ladder. This is the ladder of 22 girls teams. They are 8, 1 and 2. So both these teams doing very, very well, mostly wins, and for their sakes they'll probably be happy with a draw, but one team may be going away with a loss here.
Yeah, fair enough. See how it plays out, I suppose.
Yeah, so we're already going really into the reserve time here for MIDFI. They're talking over their second ban. Is there anything else you feel was a big impact in our games from last night that would be smart to take away here? I know the Windrunner is a very highly contested pick for MintAU. They are very good on the offlane Windrunner, so wouldn't be surprised to see her taken out of the pool. But
I thought as a late Windrunner or Wind Ranger, I think it's now called.
Yeah, meant to be called.
yeah, right. I think she'd fallen out of Graces recently, which kind of sucks because it's a really exciting hero to watch, especially a well-played one. You know,
Shadow shots can be awesome.
Oh yeah, they can be, but they're absolutely useless if you can't shackle anything.
Yeah.
But Centaur ban out, which is fair enough for the offlane. They're pretty strong, and a Bat Rider first pick. I don't mind a bit of Bat Rider action. Happy he's back in the pool.
Yeah, we saw him in the second game that we cast last night. He was completely ignored in the first one. He was absolutely devastating in the off lane. I think he was in a 1v1 actually. So hopefully for Mint's sake they can get that going, because Bat Rider very much a lane bully. He could go mid as well, but for the time being, Windrunner and Bat Rider both ranged heroes with a plethora of crowd control. I mean, Windrunner doesn't have a plethora of crowd control, but a very strong one. So we can assume that's going there for the time being. And the Ancient Apparition will be picked up along with the DP, so 2 very common picks. We didn't see the AA yesterday, but he has had an absolute resurgence lately.
Yeah, I think what did they do to change him? I think they made Chilling Touch fairly decent, like I don't know, patch or two ago, and he's been crazy ever since. Like you throw him in a tri lane or something with 2 or 3 ranged heroes there, and that's just so much harass and damage early game. We've got an Earthshaker pickup. That's pretty cool to see. So every single game that we've casted, or that I've casted with you at least so far in the Southeast Asian League, has had Earthshaker, and he was played beast last night.
Absolutely. Lucy Stranger on MintAU, she plays an amazing Earthshaker. She is very good on that hero, and like you said, very devastating last night. So we'll have to see if he can replicate that performance again. MIDFI taking a massive amount of time with their bans. Dazzle being taken out, very popular with the females, which is fair enough because Dazzle is an awesome hero. Timbersaw and Furion will also cop the bans. So MIDFI, they've definitely not got a lot of time for deliberation with their picks, so hopefully, for their sake, they've got something worked out. They have a great pushing comp, or the beginnings of a great pushing comp thus far, with the Global Ice Blast and then DP with her Crypt Swarm and Exorcism.
Yeah, the Exorcism can push towers down pretty damn hard, and I suppose you can clear out the creeps and whatnot with the Ice Blast as well. But I mean, it's really not necessary with the DP there.
Yeah,
she can clear those creep waves pretty quickly. So we've got an SS ban out, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, so not valued as highly by these girls, but still warrants some attention. I like the Furion ban from Mint, because AA is very strong in global comps, and Furion is the global king, or I like to think of him as a girl, even though he has a beard, so the global queen. I'm wondering if we'll see a Spectre out of MIDFI. That would be sick, because global comps can be very strong with her. Could see Zeus, although he is very weak if he doesn't get ahead, so probably not as likely.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing a spec. Spec games are always fun, especially if they can get that early Radiance, or I suppose you can always go the drums and...
5 seconds
Radiance
remaining.
is more popular in the global strat, so that's what we'd see, I think. Oh, Vengeful Spirit. So
team pick.
we've got a similar situation to last night, where you've got a lot of ranged initiation with the Fissure and the Magic Missile, and then of course Vengeance Aura going to synergize nicely with the Enchant Totem.
Radiance
We've
team
got an
pick.
IO pickup. Does this mean we'll be seeing a Chaos Knight or a Tiny?
Well, you could be right, and that'd, I suppose, fulfill your global fantasies. That's
Yes.
definitely one of the best heroes in the game for it. It kind of sucks that you don't see him as much anymore after he got the nerf to tether there. Obviously, it slows these days instead of stuns, so you don't see him that often. But yeah, probably.
5 seconds
What have we got here? I mean, a Tiny would really add with the tower pushing and
reserve time
and whatnot, because once he gets that Aghanims going, there's definitely a significant amount of beatdown he can get on those towers and creep waves.
Yeah, not to mention IO goes really well with the strength heroes because of his tether. It gives them mana thanks to the... Is it overcharge? No, I think it is tether that gives mana as well. So it makes up for their lack of agility, attack speed, makes up for their lack of intelligence in mana regen. So we could see a ban out from Mint to try and cancel that out.
Now.
And we don't have a carry thus far for Mint, unless... I mean, Vengeful Spirit can be a carry, but she's not optimal. She's much better as an item independent support. Witch Doctor can go mid very easily. He actually scales quite well with the levels, particularly Maledict. When you've got a burst team, he's very strong. And it looks like they are expecting Witch Doctor to go mid because they're banning out the Weaver. So they're expecting a carry here. Both teams are expecting a carry.
Yeah, at this stage, Mama Need Tangoes. God, that's a great name. They're going to have to ban out the Tiny here. I mean, you'd think a Tiny
5
could
seconds
be
remaining.
pretty solid with this lane, because you probably wouldn't pick CK because of the Earthshaker there. Obviously, it worked wonders with his Echo Slam. So you'd more than likely have to ban out Tiny. Oh, they banned out the CK. There you go. Fair enough. I would have went the other way. Like I'm at least now 100% sure that Disney should pick up the Tiny. And I tell lies again. They're picking up this ban. They're making me look bad. Apparently, they just don't agree with my drafting.
Well, I mean, Sven, he is a strength hero, benefits greatly from IO's presence. It means that Sven can use the Great Cleave to tear apart the creeps in a unattended lane with the IO. They'll smash down the towers thanks to the God Strength, and then if a team fight erupts with Clockwork landing a hook shot, they can quickly get in there with the Relocate, and then Ice Blast can also join if Ancient Apparition is with them. So Mint, they'd like a carry that's good at counter pushing. But I can't think of many that fit that description. There is Luna, she's good later on with clearing the creeps. But, I mean, Witch Doctor, he's quite good at counter pushing thanks to the Paralyzing Cask, cripples the creep waves.
Yeah, I suppose that does an okay job. I mean, you've got the Fissure there anyway, and you've got Firefly. Like, there's plenty of, I suppose, Turtle coming out from Mint right now.
You really need someone who can stand up to a Sven, someone like Lifestealer.
Yeah, you're gonna need. Yeah, I'd agree. You're going to need a strength hero. It's though with the clockwork, a lifestealer might be a bit of a pain getting.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
he's locked
getting
in the
a
cogs,
lifestealer.
he's borderline useless.
Yeah, he's got nothing to do. I suppose if he gets in those cogs. I mean, I suppose he could always save his in. There you go, Viper. That's not too bad considering. I mean, he does get quite tanky. As far as magic damage goes, so all he'd have to worry about is the Sven, and his ult does go through the BKB as well, which will obviously help him help, I suppose, her, kite him around.
Yeah, well, looks like Lucy will be taking the Viper. We can assume that's going mid, which would mean Vengeful Spirit probably going to be our position 1, unless they're trying something funky with the Witch Doctor. I don't know how well she'd stand up against the Sven. She's got the stun, which it doesn't go through BKB. The swap, which does. She does have a ranged advantage over him, so she can bully him early on. And yeah, big shout out to our sponsors, eClub Malaysia, SteelSeries, MTS Gaming. They were on the title screen. We'll quickly bring that up so everyone can see. So thank you to them. And they're being what's the opposite of misogyny? Do you know? You have any idea, Hawksbuck?
No.
Where they hate men? I think phylogeny? I don't know, something like that. They want male casting instead of us.
Fair enough.
Yeah, fair enough. Her voice is a lot better than ours. Yeah, so the VS, I don't know how she'll stand up against Sven later on, but early on, she's quite vulnerable. She's quite squishy. She's got the stun, got the armor reduction, can swap herself out if she wants to if she gets engaged upon, she can kind of swap herself for the Earthshaker. That'd be a nice counter initiation. But and yeah, you pointed out Viper Strike going through BKB, it will cripple the Sven. But they've got some decent other threats. Like if you get an Ags on this Ancient Apparition, you got the Exorcism stuff running around, and Clockwork. He can his battery assault does a lot on lone targets as well. So the MintAU girls, they're gonna have to be careful how they play this, because they can either get out pushed or just out team fought.
Yeah, the only thing that I really have a concern late game is I'm pretty sure Sven's gonna at least dunk the hell out of that VS. Mainly based on just because VS has got such a short attack range, it's nearly going to be in melee range there for the Sven. You know, if he gets a BKB or a Mask of Madness, you know, he's going to be able to close that gap real fast.
Not to mention that they have, Stormhammer ends up being, it's a 2-second stun across the board. Frozen Feet, Cold Feet, only needs, I think, 4 seconds, to stun. So they've got a bit of synergy there. And IO being their other support, doesn't need levels too much. Relocate would be nice. So I think MIDFI are going to need to try and push early on and buy that space for their Sven to farm up. They've got great engage with the Clockwork, great counter pushing with Crypt Swarm and with Ice Blast, as we get to find out what May is having for dinner. Finally into the game properly here. Hawksbuck will go through the teams representing Mum I Need Tangoes, the only Australian girls team in the female season 2 or FSL season 2. We will have Ada playing the Earthshaker. She will be joined by what we can assume is Lily on the Vengeful Spirit, and Witch Doctor played by Kit Kat. In the mid lane we have, I used to think it was Y Cole Stranger, but then I realized that it's Lucy backwards. So Lucy Stranger will say for now, and rounding them out is Missy SE as our battle winner.
Yeah, that bot lane, man, it's going to pack a bit of a punch. Like, if anybody's out of position there, they're going to get punished, man. That's 3 stuns there, you know, and a significant amount of early game damage. But for Disney, is it, or is it MIDFI? I mean,
30 seconds.
They've called themselves Disney, but I was told it's MIDFI.
Okay, we'll go with Disney. I mean, that's their tags.
Yeah,
we've got Excel, I suppose, on playing the Death Prophet. Then we've got Cameron, is it? I think so, on the Clockwork. And then we've got Shell on the IO. We've got Pusa, I suppose, on the Sven. Then we've got Rain on the Ancient Apparition planes.
I left the hard ones for you, but they're not too difficult. We had
Please
much
just
worse.
bear in mind I'm trying my best here.
Trying to pronounce.
Yeah, true.
Rune will spawn up the top. It is regen. Chell just going to pick that one up. Plays the song of his people upon getting that one.
The eternal
So
struggle
the
betwixt
Viper
creep and
versus
creep
DP, we
lumbers
saw this
on.
matchup last night, and the DP handily won that one. The Rune control helped, but she really bullied the Viper out. So I'm wondering if something similar is going to happen here, or if Lucy has an answer for it.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. I'm pretty sure the Viper, at least for the first few levels, should have the CS control in mid.
Yeah, Nether Toxin makes it very easy to last hit. So we can see the Rocket Flare was leveled up by Cameron, which means that he didn't get to block the creep. Well, she didn't get to block the creep wave with Power Cogs, but will be able to last hit from a distance.
Not this time.
So, like, I thought it could have been the Witch Doctor going for the CS because of buying wards. No, sorry, the VS having wards and stuff. Yeah, so Lily just zoning Cameron out. Meanwhile, at the top lane, Missy going to do her best to last hit thanks to the sticky napalm. Already at the one last hit, and I think she's quite safe from this lane up here. Apart from Stormhammer, there's not a lot they can do to stop her.
Yeah, I suppose for the first couple of levels, man. Dude, is it just me, or I'm hoping for something really gimmicky and stupid like a crit shaker? I want to see a crit shaker with a shadow blade.
That would be great. Sprint up, just
it'd be
boom.
absolutely hilarious.
Hopefully the Earthshaker does as well as it did yesterday and gets tons of items. So when she ends up in the level and gets Enchant Totem, can start hitting like an absolute bloody truck. As Missy going to take some damage from the Wisps, I think it is, Spirits? Wisps sounds better. But the Spirits will be doing a bit of damage there. Chell, nice control over those. But like we pointed out last night, Batrider can very easily jungle thanks to the sticky napalm and the Firefly. She's just got to be careful she doesn't get collapsed on.
Price is nice.
Yeah, she kind of knows where the Sven is and know that he's not coming in at least yet, so he'd be able to, I suppose, screw around a little bit more as the AA getting a little bit of experience with the jungle pulls there.
Yeah, he's got the Chilling Touch, so if they did go for something, the Sven and the IO are going to be doing quite a bit more damage thanks to the Tether. That burst from the Chilling Touch will come out much sooner. The mid lane looking quite even for the time being, but Lucy forced the heck back. Went with the Wraith Band early on, got pulled some Tangoes. It's on cooldown for another 30 seconds, so she's going to have to be very, very defensive. Crypt Swarm can absolutely nuke this early on. Cameron took a Fisher at the bot, but she's quite alright from it. And yeah, as far as things go, this is a very slow start. No crazy smoke ganks or anything like that. Teams are just farming up.
Yeah, it is pretty passive right now, but you can bet that'll change once a few players hit 6 here. It'll be pretty aggressive mid game there. We both do have strong mid game teams.
Yeah, so it'll be who can capitalize. I mean, you got the Batrider. He's doing quite nicely, not getting zoned out too much at all. Sven is doing better than VS at the current time, but with Batrider doing better than Clockwork.
We've got a smoke gang coming in mid.
Okay, so the caster Kiss of Death will mean that it does go ahead. Actually, they've sent their carry there, so Earthshaker's down at the bot, picking up the farm, like you said. Much better to send the VS down with her highly damaging stun. But Rochelle? I don't know. She's gonna get some health back with the bottle. Courier comes in. The stun goes out from the Vengeful Spirit. Paralyzing Cask as well. I don't know if they can get her, though. Nether Toxin doing a lot of damage. But the Courier will allow her to back out there. Lucy going to get some healing thanks to the Witch Doctor heal, which is called Voodoo Restoration, one of the better scaling heals of the game. Regen Rune gotten by the DP, so she's going to be absolutely fine after that. And not much achieved apart from letting their Earthshaker get a lot of farm. Actually, it looks like she's the carry.
The Earthshaker, yeah, that's what I was saying.
Yeah,
like,
okay.
He's the one that, or she's the one rather, that's been sitting, in the lane getting the farm. Which, here we go. He's going on into. That's a big amount of damage there. Is he going to be able to get the last hit? No, pops off the salve, and and she runs back to the tower there, so she survives that one. We're going to have another smoke game. There's a couple up on the high ground just near the Ancients for the Disney, and looks like they'll be going in the mid soon, I think.
That was really close. The Crypt Swarm barely missing there on to the Viper. Our crazy DP going all in the smoke is going to be unsuccessful for the main part. Shout out to Anashadior and May Arcana for talking in the Twitch chat. Very welcome to talk to us, ladies and gents. How's the farm going? The mid lane very even, and well, with the Earthshaker being the carries are very even as well. What are you expecting coming out here early on? You reckon a Shadow Blade on this Earthshaker?
Oh, I don't think so, man. I'm pretty sure that should just go into your usual kind of blink build. They're gonna get some that up and running as early as possible.
I'd love to see an
I was hoping for it. Yeah, well, what I was hoping for was that you can go like a crit shaker build, which is your totem maxed and you get crit and
Daedalus and Shadow Blade, yeah. Bit of a Kunka build.
Yeah.
Instead of
pretty
obliterating an
much.
entire team, you just smash the hell out of one guy.
Yeah, it's. I'm pretty sure it's actually the hardest hitting crit in the game if it gets off. Don't quote me on that one, but I think it is.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Okay, so the bottle crowing in the mid will be successful for Eggshell. Will she be headed to the top here? It looks like she will indeed. Trank boots are up on Missy, so she will be healing up. The supports are coming in from the MintAU just in the nick of time. Firefly will go off by Missy. She's going to drag the Sven into the middle of her team. Paralyzing cast goes off. Will they be able to get this? The one charges with the IO and using their salve means that Sven quickly gets back up. Exorcism has been popped. Will that mean anyone going down? Rochelle being very, very aggressive here. Exorcism, will it be enough? The last hit from the right click will be enough for the Exorcism to get the first blood onto KitKat here, our Philippines girls team, with a fantastic start here. MIDFI or Disney, whatever they prefer to be. Lily just waiting for enough money to buy the TP scroll as the Exorcism actually comes and whacks her in the trees, but they weren't aware of it. So nice throwing by Disney. Does mean that their mid tower is going to take a bit of damage though.
Middle tower, everyone go now!
Yeah, that's a pretty decent trade, though, I'd say. I mean, they were able to get one or two kills, and Lily is able to get out. That's pretty hilarious.
Yeah, she waited for the money, finally got out. Yeah, even the Exorcism ran over and bonked her on the head, so
Green dude's top
fortunate for her that she was
is
able
about to get knocked
escape.
over.
As at the top tier 1 going to be taking a lot of damage. The T1 in the mid looks like the mid girl's going to go for it, but I mean the illusion rune means it'll take a lot of damage, but the one at the top is God's Strength pop by this Sven, just going to be pumping up. Is that what he's called? No. I think that was in Dota 1 when he had his ult pop. He said Sven is pumped up and ready for action or something. Or is that his war cry?
Not entirely sure. I didn't play Dota 1. I started
Bad dudes, middle tower, everyone go!
I played Dota 1 when I was in math class.
Green
with,
dude's
the
top
rest of my
thing
friends.
is about to get knocked
I
over.
only played Troll Warlord. That was good times.
Dire's middle tower is under
It was
attack.
very easy back then. He had a really overpowered. I think his ult was a. Was it his E? I think his E and his ult were reversed back then.
Okay, fair enough.
The biggest thing I remember about Dota 1 is Sand King had an emo haircut because of his model. Actually, we're going to miss a kill. Clockwork takes down the Earthshaker at the bot. And I guess Ada was being far too aggressive.
Middle tower
Uses
is
the
under
Echo
attack.
Slam was not enough, and another advantage picked up by Disney as Cameron very wisely backs off here. Looks like hookshot was used.
Yeah, in mid as well. They're punishing the tier 1 tower that the Exorcism is on. She doesn't have just enough mana yet for a swarm to kill these creeps off. She does now. She pops a boot. So we might see it down. We've got a TP coming in, so maybe not.
Yeah,
and that's going to be a good pass.
Nice. Fisher lands onto range. She can't really go anywhere. Ada's going to be barreling up to her. Can she get the slow off, or the stun off rather, the slow from Icy Vortex? Made by Rain enough time here. She does have a salve, but a nice disengage after a nice Fisher lands on her. I'll have a look at the gold. It is almost 1500 Disney's favour. The XP actually in Mint's favour. 500 XP has been waving a lot, but they've had it the entire time. So with heroes like Batrider, Earthshaker and or just like Vengeful Spirit, Witch Doctor, some of the best scaling supports. Having the XP lead means that the gold they're down isn't that important.
Yeah, that's fair enough. You're absolutely right. They do have some of the better scaling supports there. So, yeah, you called that one right, buddy.
Yeah. I'm a
Maybe a
league
go to player after all.
I've been casting League the past couple hours too, so I don't think
I'll tell you what, this DP has picked up a lot of regen runes.
Yeah, no, she's a great rune control, even without the phase boots, so it's just Witchcraft giving her that movement speed. She's got, I think, almost an entire mechanism on the chicken, she just needs the recipe. Viper also has the parts of it. She is only about 200 gold off of that, so both the mids doing very well and picking that one up. Viper is up here with the invisibility rune. Lily going to be jumped upon, but Viper going to come out. Viper strike used on Sven. Nothing he can do. Will Lily go down to this IO? Looks like the last auto attack comes out, but it may be for naught. She's going to try and relocate out and actually avoids that last auto attack. She will port back, unfortunately. Oh, she's going to buy Trank Boots, and that will heal her up. Can she sprint out? And it looks like Lucy will be forced back, and then it tethers to the creep. Fantastic play out of Shell on the IO. That was very impressive.
Radiant's middle tower has
Yeah, that was definitely a good relocate out there. Maybe she should have done a little bit
the
earlier.
last auto. Yeah, do you reckon she should have tried to get Sven out?
Yeah, maybe get the Sven out. But then again,
I didn't
suppose
expect a Viper to be behind.
Yeah, true. Yeah, that's fair enough. And we're going to see Witch Doctor go down here for sure.
Yeah, God's Strength very, very powerful on that one. The Wisp's doing a lot of damage as well. Icy Vortex going down. We've got the TP coming in. Or actually, Rochelle, I'll call it, used her Exorcism to get the T1 in the mid. So the first structure of the game will go to Disney. Shout out to Shuffer Static and Enshiator, who are playing Candy Crush apparently. Not watching us, Hawksbog. How are we going for the blink on the Batrider? He actually has it now, so that's where they need to turn this around. They need to get a pick off.
Yeah, the blink is definitely pretty key on the Batrider. Also, the Earthshaker, he must be coming up fairly soon. Oh no, he's still 1,000 away. I suppose he did pick up the arcane boots, so yeah.
Which is fair enough, because his mana pool is horrible.
Oh wow, this is going to be a pick off for sure. Oh, she pops the Invis rune. The Sentry Ward does go down. She's only got the one stack and no dust, but yeah, we're going to pick up this kill for sure, dude.
Yeah, Maledict would have finished her off regardless of what happened there. Nice pick off, exactly what we said. Although it was more of a misplay from Rochelle being behind enemy lines. She doesn't have Yules or phase boots, so she's reasonably slow for a DP. She has very low base movement speed, and Witchcraft is what makes up for it. But without movement speed items, very, very vulnerable there. So, bit of a misstep. As down at the bottom lane, we've got Io relocating in with the Sven, but a paralyzing cast. Going to absolutely cripple them. Now Io's been thwarted out, leaving poor Clockwork to his devices. 1-for-1. Both of the AFK farmers at bottom lane will end up falling. We've got the DP teleporting in. She does have Exorcism available. These min supports have to be so careful. Phase boots is up for Lily. Exorcism coming in, as well as Crypt Swarm hits both of them. Do they have enough to get out of here? The Voodoo Restoration helping to top off the Witch Doctor. Lily manages to avoid the Crypt Swarm, but Exorcism doesn't quite finish her. She's using the Phase boots. She avoids the Crypt Swarm. Again, doesn't have a TP scroll, but Rochelle can't find her. Fantastically done by our Aussie girls.
Yeah, that was definitely some victories there. Shout out to Lily for surviving that one, as she's not giving up on this kill. She does have the Crypt Swarm up again. Oh, what happened there? She was halfway during the animation. I think she cancelled it.
Oh, Batrider, he wants a bit of revenge here. He blinks forward. He doesn't have enough mana for the Flaming Lasso, so just trying to get the auto attacks down. Rochelle standing her ground. Fish is going to come in as well as a Battery Assault. Cog's not going to stop Batrider too much. Crypt Swarm will take it down very low. Hookshot ends up missing, but I think Missy may have overstayed her welcome. Crypt Swarm will finish that one off Icy Vortex, making her take more damage from that one, and a little bit too aggressive from our Missy player. Did not have the mana for the Flaming Lasso. If she had, that would have looked a lot different.
Yeah, actually, what happened, the Earthshaker busted out the arcane boots there, but it was the mana drain from the cogs there. from the Clockwork. Yeah. So I think that
I
was.
completely forget it does that.
Yeah, see, I think it was a bit of a communication, like the Shaker would have said, "Go in, I've got mana for you," and then that happens, which is
I trolled you.
In your bottom.
yeah, pretty much. It was good play from the Clockwork there.
Yeah, our Philippine girls Disney, or MIDFI, as they may prefer to be called.
Yeah, we've got a Morbid Mask up on the Sven, so more than likely, I bet that'll be going into Mask of Madness, and then we've also got the drums, so he's going to be pretty damn quick there when he combines that with the Warcry.
And then the tether as well. Does it give movement speed? Yeah, 17%.
Sure. Yeah.
So yeah, this Sven going to be difficult to kite around. They do have a lot of hard CC though. I loved that paralyzing cask at the bottom lane. Like, it just held them in place for so long. You see it in a lot of fail clips where people just stand next to each other and they'll be stunned for about 5 seconds each because it just bounces between them. Great fun.
Radiant's top
So
tower
relocate
is
is available, and just as we said, Pusa and Shell going to abuse that ability to push at the top, do a lot of pressure. They back off before Smoke of Deceit Batrider can come in. Flaming Lasso obviously still available. TP down to the bottom as Cameron tries to engage. He still has hookshot, blink forward by the Batrider, and then the Flaming Lasso. They're bringing a Clockwork into their team. It could be bad. Nice hookshot, but it is not enough. Death Prophet will be taken down. Double kill for Lucy on the Viper as the Witch Doctor channeling Zold. It is not enough. Sven going to end up falling. No, they relocate out at the very last second. Poison Touch not enough to finish it off. Ends up being a 3 for 2. Barely not a 4 for 2.
Dyer's bottom
well done by
tower is
Mint
under
there.
attack. We're detecting high levels
Yeah, that was
of
definitely
sarcasm, Captain.
a good fight for them, even with the TP support coming in from the Sven and
Oh, double
the
damage
IO.
on the Viper. That's why that happened.
Ah, yeah. She actually, and it was like standing and tanking
Yeah.
the Sven, so definitely at this stage she's quite far ahead. The mechanism, I suppose, providing the armor that she needed for that fight. They're not going to get this tier 1. They're not going to get this T1 tower though, Cole.
No, yeah, the structures have been largely ignored, apart from the tier 1s in the mid and the top, which was very early on that they took that, and now it's more about the fighting. Wouldn't be surprised to see an Ag Scepter come out of Lucy now on the Viper. The cast range on Viper Strike will help a lot in crippling the Sven before he can close the distance, as he's just going to be farming up the top. Working on the Mask of Madness, I think the chicken is headed out. Yeah, it does have the recipe for Mask of Madness, as the rest of Disney trying to hold out. We'll have a look at the graphs. There's 3,000 gold in Disney's favour. Has been swinging back a little bit. XP
Yo, green dudes,
is
something
still
bad is happening.
about 1,300 in the favour of Mint, but it did swing into Disney's for a little bit there. And the items, yeah, like we said, Mask of Madness, Urn of Shadows, and Drums of Endurance on both Cameron and Pusa, being the Clockwork and the Sven respectively. So they've got a lot of mobility, they've got the mechanism, so Disney, they're ready for the team fight. They've just got to be careful they don't get collapsed on, because if you have a Flaming Lasso into a Fissure, they're going to be in trouble, because they can't really respond once a fight starts.
Yeah, that is a lot of damage, at least until they get those BKBs up and running, which Sven will probably build next, I dare say, even maybe the Death Prophet there. Got an AA.
Oh, the engage comes in from the Clockwork. The Ice Blast did not stop the tower going down. Maledict is used on Clockwork as well, as the Witch Doctor Alt Exorcism used by our Death Prophet. Crypt Swarm used to finish off the Viper. 674 gold going into the health of, or into the pocket rather, of the Viper. And that will be a nice swap attempt from Lily. Not enough though. 3 for 2 in Disney's favour, and they have their Sven up with his God Strength. It's about to run out. They didn't have their Earthshaker. That was massive
Green dude's
from
top
Mint. They got,
thing
like we
is
said,
about to get
whoever
knocked
gets the
over.
jump probably will
Dyer's
walk away with the
bottom
fight.
tower is
It was
under
a close
attack.
one, but Mask of Madness Sven Mintz's tower going to be in a lot of trouble, particularly with IO. Is he coming in? Where is IO? He's right behind them.
Yeah, definitely a pretty good fight. And also one important thing to note here is that I think in a lot of these fights, a lot of the cores for Mint are going down. Like they lost, I suppose, Batrider and Viper there, their two most important cores there, which is bad. And if you have a look at the net worth, I'm pretty sure it'll, yeah, there you have it. You've got Sven and DP, both of them on top by a couple of thousand each, and Viper being the only one close, really. You've got
and when she went
Missy.
down, she gave a massive bounty to DP, which doesn't help.
No. So yeah, that net worth is significantly different there and favouring the cause of Disney. But we might see a tier 1 tower here if there's no TPs there. They'll probably go for a trade, I'd say. There's also no TP on the Death Prophet, or there is one on the Sven and on the IO. So they probably could defend that tier 1 tower if they wanted that bot. But the totem, I mean, he should be able to take it down with a cannon there in decent amount of time, I'd say.
Yeah, not a lot that Disney can really do about that one. If they take a T2 in mid, though, will definitely be worth it. IO with a regen rune, she's going to be able to quickly top up anyone that she's linked to, which is great. And then she got the bottle as well, so she's got a very intelligent build for transferring HP to whoever she's tethered to, which will probably be the Sven. So this Sven is looking very, very good for the late game. Has Mask of Madness, 2300 in the bank, so he could pick up the Mithril Hammer and be close to the Ogre Club. I always forget what it's called. It's just the strength, the 10 strength thing.
Yeah, I think it is the Ogre Club.
Yeah, I think it is Ogre Club. I could actually check because we're still paused. Yep, Ogre Club. Okay, and then for MintAU, they've still got Flaming Lasso off cooldown. They've got the Echo Slam, that's because Ada wasn't in the fight. And the swap from Lily was quite good. She almost juked them, but then an Exorcism Spirit came out and went douche.
How's it go? Douche?
Douche. No, they don't. I think they just go like whoosh.
Yeah, fair enough.
So I'm wondering what Shell? Rochelle? Yeah, Rochelle's fine. I'm wondering what she's going to go for next. She could get a Sheep Stick. She's very rich at the moment. And a Sheep Stick would be quite decent, I think, for, throwing it on the Bat Rider, making the initiation a bit more difficult for him. Getting very close to the Force Staff is our Bat Rider, but dying over and over, and by over and over I mean twice, is really setting back that item. So she's not able to get those crisp pickoffs that she'd prefer.
Yeah, I don't know. I've got a feeling with the Arcane Boots on the Death Prophet, we might see a draw on a Mind Blade, a Bloodstone.
Oh, yeah, no, that'd be great. Because she's already living in the fight, so that just makes her able to spam out that Crypt Swarm and the Silence. Which, I mean, Crypt Swarm hits like a truck, 300 damage, 4-second cooldown, just a big mana cost. But if she can sustain it and stand in the middle of the enemy team, yeah, I think Bloodstone would be great.
Yeah, I mean, it's not too late for her. She would have most of the parts already. As far as cost-wise goes, it would only probably cost 1,000 or so more, maybe something like that.
And then our Clockwork is doing a good job at engaging. What is her name? Just quickly check. The game pauses over it. Cameron with a heart. The girls love putting the hearts, which is fair enough. There was a really slick move in the bottom with the Clockwork where she almost escaped by hooking to the DP. But yeah, I think ended up going down to a last auto attack from Lucy. So we have a big smiley being drawn by our DP. I'm wondering if the game's going to unpause soon.
Yeah, well, we still got the DC Viper though. How do you draw on the map? Jeez.
I think it's control.
Yeah, there you go.
Yep, control's not working for me. Don't draw
right.
anything rude, Hawksbook Thorum.
No. I mean, I'm immature, but I'm not that immature.
Yeah, no, fair enough.
Give me a little bit of credit here, dude.
Yeah. Scumbag Cold Blood. So, Viper has got 1900 in her pockets. She could go for the Ags, like we said. Could maybe go for a Manta style as well. I was going to say Echo Slam makes that a bad idea, but she's on the side of the Echo Slam, so it'd be alright. And then, of course, Viper, I believe his passives go over to the Illusions. Let's have a look. It doesn't actually tell me. I know Poison Attack won't be picked up by them, but she can actually dish out a lot of damage there. Of course, Sven is going to cleave the hell out of them.
Yeah.
So, not as effective as you would hope.
Yeah, I'd say Viper would be building into either a BKB or an Aghanim Scepter.
BKB would be a good idea, yeah.
Yeah, just to sustain some of that damage.
I'm wondering if Roche is going to be on the pit for one of these teams, because Disney, they're pushing very hard. If they get this tier 2, it really opens it up. Like, if they get the tier 1 at bot, they're in a good position to pick up the Roche. They've got quite a few tools, which is good for it. The Chilling Touch, Sven will just absolutely demolish it, particularly with an IO. And then Clockwork, he's able to zone very effectively. It's going to be difficult for the Bat Rider to jump in there. I mean, well, Bat Rider, he has a lot of ease going around the Roche pit, but against a Clockwork, it can be risky.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I mean, the physical damage is not really there, I suppose, from Mint, so you probably won't see a Roche attempt, and also the fact that they're so significantly behind. But you do, Disney will have enough DPS. I mean, even if they wanted, they could bust out the Swarm, Sven will God Strength it, and it'll be gone before you know it.
Yeah. The only problem is they're going to be grouped up against an Earthshaker, I mean, even Wave of Terror does a decent bit, Paralyzing Cask, Maledict, and Death Ward are all deadly in there, and then of course Bat Rider, he does quite a bit of AoE as well, so they've got to be really careful if they go for it, because Mint don't have a great team for taking the Roche, but contesting, they've got a fantastic team.
Yeah, that's a fair enough point, and especially until they get those BKBs going. You know, I'm 100% certain the Sven will be going for a BKB next, so that'll definitely help him as far as that goes. But I think we nearly got our blink, or we're close to our blink on the Shaker.
Yeah,
and they're about 100 gold.
220, I think. Yeah, I think it's 220, which this tower will provide. Like we said, Disney not really in a position to push that back. Ice Blast would not... Oh, I don't know if actually if it'd be in time. I mean, Enchant Totem makes Earthshaker very good at taking that one down. We're, yeah, wondering if Lucy's going to reconnect at any point. And now Missy's gone. Good old Volvo with their Steam client.
Are we allowed to type in general?
I would assume so.
Yeah.
Hi, friends.
Yeah, I think Control-Alt-Delete generally.
The fourth wall has been broken.
Well, that sucks.
Yeah, okay, so we're just going to have to sit tight and wait. Well, Lucy is back in. We just need Missy to reconnect now. Yep, so hopefully she can get that sorted. Does the Mint Chicken have anything on it? Not just yet. What about the Disney Chicken? Also, it's not really a chicken, that's more of a grasshopper? I don't know what you'd call that, Courier Hogsbach.
Let me have a look.
It's a green thing with wings.
Wait, which team are we talking?
Disney
Dire,
Courier.
yeah.
Oh, Dire, yeah.
I don't know, little mini Venomancer, I suppose.
Oh, yeah, kind of looks like Venom.
Yeah, that'd be my guess. Mini.
Just a boring donkey for the Mint girls.
Fair.
I believe it was the Witch Doctor who bought it. Kit Kat, she doesn't have any courier awards. Not courier. Yeah, courier. Courier skin. That's the word I was looking for. There's not a lot else we can really talk about here. It looks like
we've tried our best for about 10.
Yeah, no, we're doing good. People don't realise how hard it is to stall until they have to do it.
And on the halftime break here.
So thank you for tuning in, ladies and gents. We'd like to thank our sponsors, Steel Series, Malaysia E-Club, and MTS Gaming, finally back into the game now. They are going to TP down to the bottom. Was that relocate? No, it was just a TP. So the T2 in the mid, disengaged from, but the T1 at bot will be defended. Ice Blast did go out. It is a very short cooldown, so it is fair enough. And the game basically reset here, Hawksbuck. Having a look at the hero levels, there's a lot of level 11s and then a bunch of people who are a bit lower down. The Mint girls really struggling for XP with their tri-lane. Even though Earthshaker's been by himself, has
Your green
been
dudes,
zoned out a little
something
bit by
bad is
Clockwork, and
happening.
now the bottom lane is going to get destroyed by the rogue Knight Sven. Storm going to help soften up the creep wave here. They're going to be forced back for the time being, but Mint aren't really reacting to this one. They're going to go straight for the mid. Looks like Yule's finished by DP, so it will help her with her movement speed. It helps her if she is the focus of the enemy team, and will help to get rid of the Earthshaker. But yeah, I wonder what Mint are doing here. They're going to try and trade T1s.
Yeah, I think they were just going to put a little bit of pressure in the mid, try to force them off, you know, thinking about going for that second tier 2 there, and then they backed off. Interestingly though, I think, yeah, the Earthshaker, that gave her enough space to pick up that.
Nice engage by Clockwork. They're going to catch up the lead. Just trying to get a little bit of vision. The Ice Blast goes out onto Witch Doctor and then gets smacked in the face by Sven. So the Roche is peeled off of. He's quickly going to heal his HP back up. And Disney take a decisive two-man catch on the supports of Mint. And their top T1 going to be worked on by Batrider, but not the strongest when it comes to actually whacking down the towers. Rochelle going to be healed back up by the Spirits. They're going to go back onto the Roche as Clockwork goes up to stop that pushing. He knows exactly where the Batrider went. Ada not going to be able to get into this pit, so it will be what looks to be an uncontested Roche for Disney here. And as Sven picks up that Aegis, things are looking very dire for our Radiant team.
Yeah, that'll definitely give them a boost they need. Though we do have the Blink Dagger up on the Shaker. I'm actually surprised they're not going into the contesters, because they could do a fair amount of damage. I suppose it's like only level 1 Echo Slam, which is maybe why they've chosen not to go for it right now. But yeah, they'll take it down in just a couple of seconds now, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, Sven, very strong carry when he can take it and do the most damage on it. DP's going to pick that one up, so it means she can engage even better now. She's got the Yules to use on herself for a bit of invulnerability, so she's very, very difficult to deal with. So instead of a Bloodstone, she's going to go for just picking up the Aegis, and it does basically the same thing. So, I mean, the Bloodstone's nice for if she does go down, she'll give a lot of health and reduced respawn, but at this point she's not really threatened. So I think a Sheepstick would have been actually I don't know, what do you reckon, Hawks, about the Yules pickup?
Yeah, it's fair enough, dude. Obviously, like, the damage of the exorcism still goes out there when she's Cyclone, but it also gives her movement speed and whatnot. I mean, at this stage, like, it's probably a fair enough item. They're significantly winning these team fights, and they've got a decent amount of crowd control as is. And also, there's no real, like, DPS, like right-click DPSs that they really need to sheep up right now.
Yeah, no, that's definitely fair enough. The Yules, of course, we talked about the Witchcraft movement speed. It's you normally see a phase on the Death Prophets, but she is opting for the Arcane, probably to help out Sven.
Top tower is under
attack. Out the Warcry and Stormhammer. Ice Blast going to come in as Clockwork, going to engage the fight here. Silence goes down, the lasso used on the Clockwork, and it will eventually go down. Voodoo Restoration is healing for so much, and the Echo Slam does a lot as well, but in the end, Witch Doctor, Earthshaker, and the Vengeful Spirit will end up falling as Lucy is going to be Yules up for Neil. Clockwork engaging a fantastic fight there, which ends up very much helping out the team. Batrider forced out very quickly. He's going to try and push at the bot, but meanwhile the tier 2 top in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, this will be another tier 2 tower here. There's nothing this Batrider can do about it. Also, that is the BKB for the Sven there, and I think he did use that. So. Yeah. That's still a 9-second BKB at 20.
Took the fish into the face and did give us left.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Okay, so it looks like Clockwork is working towards a Pipe of Insight, which will help tremendously against Echo Slam, poison, and damage of Viper. Batrider actually throws out a lot of not AP, magic damage as well. So, and it'll help Clockwork survive in the fights, which is he's really doing his job at the moment, her job. She's doing a really great job at finding those picks, forcing a fight that is very advantageous for her team, because they can follow up so strongly.
Yeah, definitely. She got 2 there and a hook shot there, so that was the kind of initiation that they really wanted there. They didn't even lose a single hero on that as well, and they've also still got the Aegis, so
They did
they're
lose
in a
Clockwork.
pretty. Oh, did they? They
Yeah.
lost. Okay, well, I tell a massive.
But it's, yeah, like you said, they basically didn't lose a hero.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, losing a hero is
For 4 is
apparently not losing a hero today.
in the world of Hawksbuck.
Yeah, let's stick on them.
It is
I mean, it is the clockwork. It is nearly expected to happen until
Yeah.
it's just a
he
surprise.
fearlessly throws himself in. Now has a headdress as well. Well, he doesn't have it. It's on the chicken.
Incoming!
We'll be working towards him. The T1 at top still alive. So Disney doing a brilliant job at holding on to their outer towers. The one at the bot, it's about 40 damage off being deniable. But they're pushing the lane so much that it's really difficult for Mint to isolate a tower and take it down. Echo Slam level 2 is now available. So the team fight from Mint is starting to look stronger, but they're starting to fall too drastically behind. They are 11,000 gold in a deficit, and the XP for the first time. A tangible lead. Nice hook shot by the Clockwork will catch out Lily in the mid. Cameron is going to 1v1 Black Ops here. Nice swap, but too late. The flaming lasso comes out, but the DP has her Aegis. It was down in a minute. Now she will be jumping back up. Lucy getting decimated by the Sven, who is just going to town with the Mask of Madness and the IO. Monster kill streak by our Sven. Blink out by the Bat Rider. Kit Kat can do nothing to stop that. Stormhammer will whack her in the backside. Silence used as well, so she can't throw out the paralyzing cask. And a very decisive victory. Once again, Bat Rider, the only one to walk around this time. No one ends up dying apart from the Aegis of the DP, and she is now going for that Bloodstone you talked about.
Yeah, once she gets that Bloodstone, she's going to be gross, dude. She's going to be pretty much unstoppable. The thing is, as well, is even if they do stop him, I mean, he's that far ahead right now that he's going to be loving the XP from it.
It takes way too much resources to take her down.
Well, even that, like, we do have the God Strength popped here as well, so we might even see 1 or 2 extra kills taken.
What you gonna do? Get mad
They're
or
going to
get
go for
even?
this T3, yeah, they really are. There is a Crystalist up on that Sven too, so I think if they try to jump him here.
Well, they're going to get the swap off, but it may not be enough. Clockwork gets a nice catch on A to L, as Io actually gets the last hit on the Vengeful Spirit. Their Echo Slam goes off just as the Clockwork will end poor Earthshaker's life. 2 for 0. The defense of the tower will stand for the time being. Pipe of Insight now available and used instantly by the Clockwork. The Disney girls are not phased at all going to, well, the fortification glyph may force them off for the time being. Does it just delay the inevitable? Looks as though they may defend the T3 for now, but Disney are going to come straight back in for it.
Yeah, I don't think there's much they can do right now as well. Here comes out the Ice Blast. Not going to hit anybody, but that is the T3 taken down in mid-man, and I think this is the beginning of the end here for Mint. Disney are definitely in a commanding position. He's got a good spot there.
Again, they're going to swap the Sven and he pops the BKB, but once hookshot does end up missing. Death Ward doing a massive amount of damage to Sven, but he will survive at least for the time being. Urn of Shadows will try and keep him up through the Maledict. Paralyzing Cast goes off, and actually Witch Doctor going to take down the Sven thanks to Maledict. It does do damage based on how low your health gets compared to the start of the cast. 1,200 gold going into the Witch Doctor's pocket. Was fantastically done. Death Ward just smashed Sven apart, and that may shut them down. Flaming Lasso used to drag the Clockwork out of his own cogs. Knight will now descend. The Clockwork much tankier than he's been for the rest of the game. Will be forced out 1 for 1. Was a nice swap by Lily to get Sven into the Witch Doctor's reach. So that move, even the BKB wasn't enough, and a BKB starting to run low on the duration, 7 seconds. Still got a fair bit, I guess. How far is Roche off of spawning? Another few minutes.
Yeah, also one pretty damn important thing to note, rather, was they took down the middle Raxa, dude.
Ah, yes, that is key. Took down the melee. Range 1, are you drawing a circle for me?
I certainly am.
Okay, great, because I didn't know where that Rex was. So yeah, they did take a Rex down, or something I didn't actually realise. 1200 gold for Witch Doctor by killing the Sven. Gonna start to try and turn that into an Ags. But, I mean, well, the Death Ward has been doing a decent bit in these fights, but she's quite squishy, so it's difficult for her to stay alive here. Would love to get boots too, but wants to get to the Ags, so it's going to be tricky to decide where to go next. Of course, if she dies, it'll be a moot point. Clockwork going to be going for the Ags, so the hook shot. Cameron being very good at landing it. Now she'll have even more of a buffer. Well, not now, but when she picks that up. And Ags being worked on by AA. He's only 500 off.
Yeah, and we're going to have a bit of a push at bot, I reckon. I don't really think that they're enough and have a choice to defend this, and yeah, I don't think they will be as well, and it's a smart choice for them not to, because they'll just get stomped right now.
Yeah, they really need to fight under
Good dude's
a tower
bottom
to have
just
a
fell
chance and get all their skills off perfectly. In the mid, they've got to try and keep that racks up. Exorcism is blown, as well as the Rocket Flare roaches up in 2 minutes. Creep spawn just in time to afford a little bit of a buffer. Flame Break used by our Bat Rider, but Exorcism still just demolishing the tower. This is without a Desolator or anything. Rochelle may take it down solo. Flaming Lasso used, but she has the Bloodstone. She is tricky to take down. Malak used as well as Yules. Clockwork jumps into the fray. KitKat going to be bonked on the head by our Sven. Stormhammer used to stop the Vengeful Spirit as well as supports Minta down. Lucy falling lower and lower. Silence used doesn't do a whole heck of a lot, but the tower does end up falling. The melee racks getting destroyed by this Rogue Knight, and the one in the mid falling very low as well, thanks to those melee mega creeps just going to town. And this may be all she wrote. Eco Slam is still available, and there is a lot of creeps around.
That really is
So
GG.
Disney
Good
gotta be
guys,
a
middle
little
racks
bit
is in
careful,
pieces.
but it
Radiant's
looks like
middle
it's going to
tower
go
is
to the
under
other side of
attack.
the base, where again there's a lot of creeps there. Got to be a little bit wary here.
Yeah, but I think at this stage they could probably just push and not really care if they lose a team like that. They won't be able to push. Here we go. We do have a blink in the Bat Rider getting firefired up there, and the blink in from the Shaker, but he didn't really last that long time.
Yeah, the Pipe of Insight can absorb a lot of that Echo Slam damage. Viper Strike not going to stop Sven for very long at all. Death Ward will take the Ancient Apparition down thanks to Maledict, but GG, well played. Thrown out by Mama Need Tangoes after a very hard-fought match. Mint fell behind, and the match will go to our Philippine team, Disney, otherwise known as MIDFI.
Yeah, there was definitely some pretty big plays going out there. That Death Prophet really did give them the start that they wanted. A lot of good turnaround ganks, and obviously taking down the early towers there.
Yeah, gave Sven the room that he needed. Cameron doubling everyone's deaths on her team, apart from Rain, who was the unsung hero of the match. We'll have to nominate an MVP here, Hawksbuck. Who are you thinking?
Oh, I'm going to say Death Prophet.
Yeah? X-Shell? I still don't know what to call her, but she did play
X-Shell
brilliantly.
will do.
Yep, X-Shell. So, congratulations. Thank you for tuning in, ladies and gents. We may be back with Game 2 of the series, or we may be heading over to another series of the FemaleDota 2 comp. So either way, we will be back very momentarily. So don't go anywhere. This is Cold Blood and Hawksbuck signing out.